Hello and welcome to the December 2024 energy reading. Let's fix my collar because my microphone is there. Happy holidays. If you celebrate the holidays, happy solstice. Let's get into personal reminders first. Reminders about our community, things that are going on that I really want you to know about. We're going to talk about the solstice because you know that I like to get into the energy of the month before I start pulling cards and getting the guidance. So we're going to talk about the importance of us honoring the winter solstice. But I also wanted to let you know that I am co-hosting a one-day retreat in Long Island City, New York City, with my beautiful friend and medicine woman, Marines Rodriguez, and I would love to see you there. Now, there are not a lot of spots because we are intentionally trying to keep it really intimate. So I think right now we only have 20 tickets left as I'm filming this. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the description box. If not, you can go to my website at melaniesantos.co and it's going to be the first thing that you see. I would love to see you at the Moment of Medicine Day Retreat, honoring and harnessing the energy of the winter solstice. I also wanted to mention that I've been having an absolute blast offering alignment sessions, and my calendar is updated for January and February. So if you wanted to have a one-on-one session with me, you can do that at melaniesantos.co/alignment sessions. I'm also going to leave a link in the description box. Lastly, your girl is back on social media. I took a long 4-month break to recalibrate and get some clarity about the way that I want to share my art moving forward. And so if you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, where I'm going to be way more personal on TikTok, please do. Now let's get into the energy of December. I'm called to keep this reading as concise as possible. I do recognize that I be yapping and they be long. I don't want to make this one too long. And so I'm not going to talk about all the cosmic placements. I am going to talk about what I think are the most important ones. And that are the fact that on December 1st, we experienced a new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the Jupiter-ruled sign of travel and philosophy. And for me, what I associated the most with is liberation and freedom. We are experiencing a full moon in Gemini on December 15th. The Mercury-ruled sign of communication and wit and mental activity. And then to end 2024, we're experiencing a full moon in Capricorn during Capricorn season. Capricorn, the sea goat, the sign of literally just doing it all. Just like, I can swim in the ocean, I can climb the mountain, and so we have a lot of energy to work with right now. And I think it's really important for us to be very intentional about how we are doing things and why. Even ending the year with a new moon in Capricorn is major because Capricorn is a Saturn-ruled sign. Saturn is grandfather time. It's this really strong and powerful planet, this cosmic body that governs our restrictions and responsibilities, that really kind of squeezes us into a corner in order for us to consider how we need to reorganize ourselves, consider how we need to be utilizing our time. And I think it's a really auspicious moment. It's really perfect. It's a perfect way to segue into 2025. 2025 being a 9-year. We just went through an 8-year, 8 being the number of abundance. And I think at the beginning of 2024, what we experienced from many spiritual leaders and energetic leaders in the space was people talking about how everybody's going to have the opportunity to make mad money this year. And I'm sure that's happened, especially with the rise of trends and TikTok and monetization and yada, 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 people starting YouTube channels. This is what's relative to me because of what I do. But people have made money in really unexpected ways. What I think was most important this year, sorry that I'm talking so fast, but I really got to get through this reading. I think what was most important this year is that we as a people and us individually have really gotten a chance to restructure the way that we understand abundance. I think there was I think it's been really beautiful. And this is me. I have a very rosy lens, but a lens of truth when it comes to looking at things. I think it's been really beautiful to see people revolt against the capitalist systems that hold us, that have us in a chokehold, to reiterate what I said in my last video. It's been really amazing to see people want real stability, to see people do their best to start like overturning things. I gotta be really careful about what I say, but it's true. Like, it's been really great to see people protesting, to speaking out loud about what they think, to be reading. I've seen so many people start reading, and not just like, oh, I'm reading. No, reading books about the foundations of their nations. It's been like so cool, and I really pray, I really pray that that just continues in 2025, because 2025 is a 9-year. Listen, 2025, I haven't really like combed through the energy of every single month yet. I like to arrive at a month and feel it for myself, then do the research with my favorite astrologers and yada, yada, yada. But 2025 is going to be a life-changing year for all of us. 2025 is a 9-year, 9 representing the number of completion. This is like, to me, 2025 is going to change specifically America forever. Like, we are never going to be the same. I mean, we already are not what we used to be, but we're not going to be where we are anymore. I think that's all contingent on us. It's contingent on you being committed to doing the work, not only like showing up and speaking out and reading and doing your research and having really important conversations with others, paying attention to who we're electing and why, speaking to your elected officials, calling, protesting against things that you don't like in your community and in the world, but also doing the work for ourselves. Okay, spending the time with our mind, body, spirit, and energy, watching videos like this, doing readings for ourselves, meditating, praying, doing our shadow work, journaling, sitting down to reflect on what it is that's happening for us and why. What kinds of opportunities are our lives serving us, and how are they aligning us with the life that we have already dreamed up? I think one of the most important things that we have to factor in this month is that this month we experience a solstice. December 21st marks the winter solstice on the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, south of the equator, if you're watching this south of the equator, shout out to you. Most of my viewers are in the northern hemisphere, so I'm going to highlight that. But if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're experiencing the summer solstice. Let's talk about the winter solstice and why it's so important. The word solstice is derived from Latin, sol meaning sun, and sistere meaning to stand still. And so what happens energetically, what happens cosmically, is that the sun appears to stand still before it reverses. And it really signifies a time where we go from darkness to light, because we start experiencing more light after the winter solstice. Even though we start to experience more light, it is really a time for us to go dark. I think as energetic beings, we forget that we also need to shift with the seasons. And it is truly my intention to record a video on what my self-care looks like shifting into the winter solstice. I think it's a time where we need to really focus on mental recalibration, on reviewing, on rehashing our goals and our thoughts and our intentions. The winter solstice is also, because the sun is appearing to stand still, it is such an incredibly powerful, energetic time to set intentions for the rest of the year. This is something that I have talked about for centuries, it feels like, and have offered so many resources, free resources, resources that are cheap and amazing for you to use. One of those being my Visions Unbound Workbook. It's supposed to be here, but I will put it on the screen for you to see. That is available in print on Amazon. If you like something to hold and flip through and just write on and start a collection, so that you can see what intentions you were setting and also look back on what happened for you as a result of your intentions. I totally recommend that you purchase it on Amazon. If you prefer to fill out something digitally so that you could just have a blank copy and use that every single year, it's available digitally on my website as well. But this workbook has been curated and refined over the last 7 years now, I believe. And it's just this amazing compilation, if I don't say so myself, of guided ritual work and guided intention work that will truly revolutionize your life if you take it seriously. And so I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. I truly recommend that you purchase one for yourself if you're looking to truly revolutionize your life in 2025. And I also recommend it as a gift to others. It's just a really good stocking stuffer. Now, before we get into the reading, I do want to lastly reiterate the importance of really centering deep review this month. Deep review, deep recalibration, a deep silencing of the noise so that we can make sense of what is showing up for us. I mean, what I'm saying is important all the time, but especially right now. We are so energetically, so cosmically, so spiritually supported in seeing things clearly in order to shift our perspective. I always see December as the start to the end of the year. People always see it as like, oh, the year is gone. Yes, the Gregorian calendar is done. It's gone. But I personally don't really energetically live by the Gregorian calendar because it was made by some white guy a billion years ago. And no. I totally and wholeheartedly honor that I am an energetic being first. And so my true new year starts with the energetic new year, the beginning of Aries season, the spring equinox in March. And so December for me really begins the start to the end of the year. And this is why I want to reiterate time of release, of review, of recalibration, because we have 3 months to really get it popping. So let me know what kinds of rituals you're taking part in at the end of this calendar year. What are you jumping into 2025 with? And also, if you have a word for the year. This is a ritual, personal ritual that I've been doing forever. I haven't even come to my word of the year yet because I really need to sit and recalibrate, which I will be doing all next week, and fill out my own Visions Unbound Workbook just to see what it is that has happened for me in 2024 and why. And because of that, what's calling me to be my word of intention, my word of intent for 2025. That is also a ritual that's included in the Visions Unbound Workbook, and I give you all the steps, all the guided work to come to the conclusion of like, what does this year really want from you? What is the most authentic expression of your creativity, of your love, of your wealth, of your pleasure look like in 2025? With that, let's get into the reading. This feels like it's going to be a fast reading. It just feels like that for me. Let's start with the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. As always, all the decks that I use are going to be linked in the description box for you to purchase for your own practice. And as I've been reiterating that this is a time of review and recalibration, I totally recommend that you look at the tools and the books that I have in my Amazon shops because they truly are my favorite. I think they're truly valuable assets in your spiritual and personal practices. All right, we had a card flip over in the deck, and it is the card Ishtar, the goddess Ishtar, boundaries. Boundaries. I think this is so important. Okay. All right, it's bubbling, it's coming up. This one is important. Not just because it's the holidays, which was the first thing humanly that came to mind, but because we are also experiencing a full moon in Gemini, okay? Gemini, again, is the Mercury ruled sign of communication and mental activity and wit and just like mind movement, okay? A full moon in Gemini, I think, is the most auspicious time to really pay attention to how we think and how we speak, to pay attention to and to recalibrate our perspective and release anything that doesn't feel like truth to us, okay? To show up more truthfully, more honestly, more clearer. And if we can't show up like that yet, then use the energy to get to a point where that is understood by us. I don't know if I'm making sense, but a full moon in Gemini is really, really important in terms of recalibrating our communication, okay? A lot of those opportunities are going to come through family and friends and conversations and colleagues and just like conversations with other people. And this is why I'm gonna start bouncing around because neurospicy brain. I think this is why when people are like, oh, I do my healing in isolation. Yes, that is important. It is important to get away from the noise, but it is also important to experience your healing as you bounce off your energy as you bounce your energy off of other people. Like, there's no way that you can heal completely in isolation. And again, we're not here to heal completely, but I do not agree with like, yeah, I'm just gonna like stay away and like keep my boundaries completely. Like, no, you need to practice. We all are here to practice. None of us know what the fuck we're doing. We're here to practice. And so to really back, boundaries is showing up as not only the boundaries that we need to set with people this month, because people will be wildin'. Just gonna say it. People will be wildin'. People will be a little bit out of control. It's been a crazy year. People are going to be overindulging in many ways, in food, in liquor, in different types of substances, and people are going to be coming out their face and saying things that maybe they mean, but they're not necessarily saying it in a way that is comfortable. Setting boundaries and knowing when to like pick your battles, for lack of a better phrase, is going to be very, very important this month, but also boundaries with yourself. I think that's what I mean by all of that, is boundaries with yourself. Knowing what you want to say, how you want to say it, and also paying attention to, if you do just communicate, what is the response from somebody else? Like being able to hold nuance is very, very important. Like, if you say something or somebody says something and it just feels very like staticky and frictiony, taking the time to sit with yourself about what's happening here. What's happening here? Why did my body automatically set a boundary? Or why are my boundaries so fucking free that I just feel the need to just like bleh, word vomit everywhere? That is what's coming up, is boundaries in communication. Be very intentional about how you communicate this month. Be very intentional about how you communicate this month. Especially because it's like we are in the season of the solstice. What we are saying is multiplying. What we are saying is manifesting at intense and rapid speeds. We need to be very careful. We need to be very, very careful, very, very intentional about what we are saying, how we speak about ourselves, what we talk about, what we want and why. Like, exercising a lack mentality is not recommended this month. Exercising dogmatic mentality, where you like have a one-track mind and are not open to nuance and are not open to learning and exploring, is not recommended this month. If at all, look up the qualities of Gemini, look up the qualities of Sagittarius, look up the qualities of Capricorn, because the solstice will also bring in and usher in Capricorn season, and try to move and shift with those qualities and see how they apply to you. Okay, I also want you to go to your birth chart. If you know your birth time and figure that all out, go to your birth chart and go and see what astrological houses each of these signs rules. Okay, so you look at your house, it's going to have numbers. Right above that, there's a sign. What house does Sagittarius rule? That's the energy of Sagittarius is what's going to be imbued in those qualities. And I'll leave some links in the description box, but it's literally everywhere. You can even go into ChatGPT and be like, hey, this is my birth chart. How do I interpret this? Help me, please. We have so many resources nowadays. Like, it's really, get it together, please. Because we need you to get it together. We need you to know yourself. It's one of the best ways to know yourself, or to at least know what your energetic scaffolding is. It's not that that's who you are, but like, this is like what you have to work with. So like, who do you want to be based on, this is how you were built. These are the tools that you were given, the tools that your soul was given, the tools that you were given energetically. And so how do you want to be in the world? And so that's what's coming up for boundaries. This is very, very important. And usually the first card will start to create the story for the month. So I'm very curious to see what's coming up with our next card, which is coming from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. Second message of December 2024. Whew, okay, second card came up upside down, which for me always means like, hey, you really got to pay attention to this. And it came up as the card Awakening. Awakening. This is so like, yes, on point. Because if we're factoring in the very real human opportunities that we're getting to make major shifts in the ways that we think, it only signals that it's because we're in a moment of awakening, which is duh, yes, winter solstice. This is like a moment of complete and total collective awakening, personal awakening. Like we have an opportunity to, let's start a new calendar year and let's start to end this energetic year so that we can really pop off in March. Once March comes, March and April, major, 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 major. And then we get to June, the middle of the calendar year, and then Jupiter changes signs from Jupiter being in Gemini, which has been this really expansive opportunity. Here come the sirens. Yes, baby, we hear you. Emphasis. That's just like spirit, like, are you hearing? Because there's literally no one in the streets. There's no reason for a siren to be on. Jupiter has been in Gemini. So Jupiter, this planet of expansion and luck and abundance and la 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 la, has been in Gemini, the sign of communication and open-mindedness and just like mental activity, which is why people have been more, I think, open to opening their minds. I think there's been a lot of sharing of mental wealth this year. And so being that it's going to shift from Gemini into Cancer in June, which is amazing for me, but we get an opportunity to shift from, okay, well, this is what I learned, the way that I've expanded my mind with Jupiter in Gemini and Jupiter in Cancer. This is how I can nurture myself in the world because of it. Cancer is the sign of the mother, the nurturer, okay, the empath. And so I think it's oh my God, we have so many amazing opportunities to really pay attention to the human shit that is popping up for us now. A lot of it is uncomfortable. Don't let the discomfort keep you from the lessons. Do not let the discomfort keep you from the lessons. Okay? It's not that you'll lose the lesson and then that's it, you're done. It's that the lesson will continue to show up in different places, people. You hear the people, you hear the honking. The lesson will continue to show up in different places, people, experiences until you learn it. And so if you want to have an easier time, a more pleasurable life, learn the fucking lessons. Learn the lessons, pay attention. This is why I always say the work would not be hard if we gave ourselves regular time to recall, to review and release and recalibrate. Like that should be a weekly practice. It should be at least a weekly practice, really a daily practice, but it should be at least a weekly practice where we are sitting down to write down or to record ourselves or to think or draw or however it is that you want to process is fine. There is no one right way. And that's one of my favorite parts of offering alignment sessions is that I get to sit with someone's energy and be like, based on you, this is what practices will be best for you. It's not always journaling. It's not always meditation for everybody. It's not always this, that, and the third. Some people have options. They can do whatever they want. And some people I'm like, yeah, you really need to do this one thing. And you got to do it daily or weekly because it's really going to be great for you. And so we should really be doing that, prioritizing these prioritizing these practices of personal liberation, liberating ourselves from the bullshit that keeps us strangled so that we can continue to expand in the world. Because as we individually expand, that only makes an expansive world. That's part of our awakening and really the only way we can awaken. We cannot be, and I see this sometimes, even and especially in our spiritual leaders, where people are preaching the rituals and the spiritual this and the spiritual that, but they're not doing the human work. But they're bigots, but they're racist, but they're prejudiced, but they're spiritually bypassing what is really happening here. Look outside, read the news. What is really happening in the world? That matters. And the way that you see the world is not only like, it matters. It matters. Can't find the words right now because the passion is overtaking me. Because it just makes me, oh my God, it just brings up this sacred rage within me. And that is a lot of what fuels my work, is my frustration with the way that people live. You have a choice to live the way that you do. Please choose wisely. Please choose wisely. Allow the things that are happening in your life to show you why they are there and how they are helping you awaken. Please, please, let's pull the next card from the Sword of Light Oracle. I don't usually use this deck, but I was called to today, which means something because this is my Archangel Michael Sword of Light. Archangel Michael, one of the archangels, ruler of the root chakra, our sacred energy center of safety, of survival. Archangel Michael is really there for protection. And so being that these cards came up, boundaries and awakening, these are really vulnerable. This is a really vulnerable time for us. And so I wonder how Archangel Michael and the energy of protection is going to show up for us this month. Okay, we got card upside down again. The way forward is open. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. If this is not exactly what we were just talking about, okay, the way forward is open. Possibilities and opportunities. Opportunities and possibilities. This won't happen. This won't happen. It'll be, and not that it won't happen, it will happen, but it'll be a long, lengthy, and arduous journey. And it doesn't have to be. You could just pay attention to your shit. You could just set your boundaries. You could just set your boundaries. And you can have an easier time. Like, really. Seriously. Our pleasure and our true pleasure. I'm going to say that. Our true pleasure. Because a lot of people are living like ignorance is bliss bullshit. And it's like, that's not real pleasure. That's not real pleasure. To me. Whatever. But to really experience, I think, true pleasure, true liberation is to pay attention to your shit. To set your boundaries. To be self-aware. To be aware. To be open and curious about your wounds, about the stories that live in you and the stories that surround the world, that surround your life. Catch those stories, see what they're saying. Are they true for you? Where did they come from? That truly facilitates and is the catalyst for liberation. Look how liberated she is. Look how free. Look how she's floating. And why? Why is she floating? Because she's surrendered. She's not grabbing onto anything. She's not grabbing onto any people. She's not grabbing onto any places, jobs, mindsets, habits, behaviors, clothing, tools, like nothing. She's just being. Being. She is just being. And so at moments this month where you feel like, fuck, this is a lot. I feel trapped. I feel really, really restricted. It's bound to happen. Again, we are ending the month with a new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is the Saturn-ruled sign of restriction. It's because there are opportunities there. Saturn doesn't restrict because it's a cosmic body that hates us. It's for the opportunity to free ourselves. How would you know how to free yourself if you weren't restricted first? How would you know how to liberate yourself? How would you be a true steward of liberation and freedom if you did not learn, if you did not sit with the way you were boundaried to free yourself, to awaken yourself, okay? Opportunities are here. Possibilities are here. I want that to be your motto and your mantra this month. I want that to be your mantra this month. There are possibilities in this discomfort. I'm going to sit with this shit. It's uncomfortable as fuck, but I'm going to sit with it and I'm going to be open to whatever possibilities and opportunities are here. And I'm going to be grateful for it. I'm going to be grateful for it. Everything that is going to show up, that is showing up in the month of December, and really always, but especially in the month of December, are showing up because they are a major puzzle piece to this grand picture of our awakening. I really, if you take anything with you this month, please take that. Please take that you have the choice of perspective. Many of you, and I'm feeling this very loud right now, many of you are living life and waiting for life to give you the abundance because you're a good person and this and that, and you do what you got to do, and you try to whatever. You cannot continue to wait. You cannot continue to wait. Just because you set the intentions doesn't mean a thing. Intention is nothing without action, and action is nothing without intention. And I do want to say that sometimes y'all are taking action, but you aren't taking action in the right direction, like in the direction of your intentions. And so you're setting an intention here, but you're thinking something about this. You're thinking about the intention. You're like, oh, I really want to feel this life. I really want to feel what this life feels like. But in your brain, the back of your brain, you have all this conditioning that's just like, yeah, you're never going to get that life. You're never going to get that life. Are you fucking crazy? That's, yeah, no. And the front of your brain, you know, you deserve that life. You're worthy of that life, but your subconscious is stronger. Okay, and so your energy, while your aura is the most important energetic communicator, period, it's like, hey, I really want this. But in the back, it's just like, yeah, it's not going to happen though. I really don't believe in myself. I really don't believe that I can actually get that life, but let me set the intention and see what happens. And so you're not 100%, like the message is never going out. It's not going out to cast the net for you because your energy is saying two different things. Boundaries. Boundaries. Review, recalibration, energetic review, really understanding what is going on within you and why as boundaries. Those are important personal boundaries. Okay? And this is just as I'm talking about like energy and opportunities and like intention and like the way that you want to live life, because it's something that it's a lot of the work that we're going to be doing this month. We're going to be doing the workbooks. We're going to hopefully be pressing play on my meditation that helps you envision heaven, which is one of the most powerful meditations I've ever shared. That if you haven't done it and you don't do it, you should be doing that every month, every new moon. It's really amazing. It's something that I do monthly. And my life is changing. I'll tell you the details soon, but it's changing. Okay? This is so important. Like, it's so important. Please remember that this month. Please remember that this month. When you come to a moment of like, oh my God, like, when is life going to get better? It gets better because of you, baby. It gets better because of you. It doesn't just get better. People are not lucky. Yes, people are privileged. There are very real human circumstances that put us in the position of luck and abundance and yada, yada, yada. But true abundance is not how much money we have. It's not the way that our life looks on social media. It's internal freedom. Do you think for yourself? Do you clearly know yourself? Do you love yourself? Regardless of all the flaws you know you have, regardless of all the parts of you that you're like not proud of, all the parts of you that you're like, oh, I wish that was different. Regardless of all of that, do you deeply love yourself? That is true abundance, okay? With that, let's choose our last card of December 2024, our last message for the year. Oh, this is coming from... I'm really going a million miles a minute. Thank you for watching this, because I'm really going off. I'm really going off. That's the energy of the day. It is what it is. This is coming from the Infinite Wisdom of the Chakras deck. One of my newest decks. Beautiful deck. Let's see what the last message for December 2024 is. Okay. Our last card. A really beautiful card. The Dancer. Balance. Balance. Activate your willingness to enter the dance. Oh, this is important. I love the choice of words here. It's screaming at me because this is really feels like the message, or like the final, like, hey, we told you what's up. Now you got to do this. We told you what's up. We told you we need you to do this. We need you to pay attention because this is what's happening. This is what's happening. And we really need you to know why, because these are opportunities. Like, this is happening, and shit is a little crazy right now because it's an opportunity for this to happen. And now we need you to be like this. We need you to be fluid. We need you to activate your willingness to participate in your own liberation. We need you to activate your willingness to receive your next assignment. This is what I mean by stop waiting. We need to be like, hey, universe, God, spirit, Jesus, whatever. I don't care. I really do not care what you call the higher power. To me, it's one. And we all just have different understandings of it. And I think that's actually fire. I'm here and I'm ready. Ready? Gently walk me forward. I'm ready. Show me exactly what you need me to see because I'm ready to be liberated. I don't want to be stuck in this life anymore. I don't want to be stuck in this existence anymore. I surrender to pivoting. I surrender to the shift that you, which is really me, right? Because we are the universe. We are God. We're all one. You, my higher self, God, spirit, energy, the universe, everything, great mother, we're all the same, one and the same. I surrender to how I need to shift now. I surrender to the ways that my soul needs me to shift in order to be in alignment with where I need to be with my next assignment. I'm ready to be moved forward on this game board of life because my game piece has been stuck on the same fucking square for so long. And it's only because I have been unwilling to fully take the steps forward. A prayer for you. All of this is so exciting, really. I know you're probably like, are you out of your mind? This is so exciting to me because I've had conversations with so many people, clients and friends and family members where people are like, damn, I feel so stuck. And I'm just like, ooh, I'm so happy for you. And people are like, are you insane? I'm like, yeah, a little bit. But I love when you get to a moment of like, fuck, I feel stuck. Because you know what that means? That means that you are meant to show the sirens. That means that shit is about to get real, real good. That means you have the opportunity to shift. If you think about yourself in a maze, right? That means you have the opportunity to shift. If you come to a wall, you can't keep going. You cannot walk into a wall. That only means you can turn around and go the other way. Experience an entirely new journey based on what it is that you want. And based on what you know already, you get to do it differently. It is so exciting. And I offer you this shift in perspective that a moment of stuckness is a moment of opportunity. Where's that card? Because the way forward is open. A moment of stuckness is a moment of opportunity. It is a moment of opportunity. It is a moment where you're going to be willing. You should be willing to say yes, to activate your yes, because it's a moment of awakening. Okay, and there's a lot of shit that's gonna come in the way, but you kind of gotta like pay attention to the boundaries that are keeping you from like going forward, and also set the boundaries to like keep the bullshit out so that you can continue to go forward. So like the word boundaries goes many ways if you haven't noticed already. This is such a beautiful, oh baby, what a month. What a month. What a month. Please let me know in the comments, how is this month already unfolding for you? I know we're like a couple days in. How is this month already unfolding for you? How are you feeling? What kinds of boundaries are you coming up against if you want to be vulnerable enough to share that? And what are you doing for the winter solstice? Let me know if you're joining me on the 21st. All the information about that, FAQs, what you need to know about what's offered in the ticket is on my website, on the sales page to the event. But I hope to see you there because we're really going to use all this energy to build this rocket ship, this collective rocket ship, to really make the most of the winter solstice, make the most of our transition from 2024 into 2025. Thank you so much for watching this, for bearing with my crazy ass energy today. I feel electric, which is usually a really great omen for the month. I am sending you so much love, and also thank you for watching these all year with me. I can't wait to start the 2025 energy readings. Love you.